joke whenever Dave comes out with a new character. I'm like, there's a character that I was going to use. You know, so I just think that we're in like some sort of sync. I just love the way you make up your characters. Like your superhero names are perfect. If any, you know, people, I'm sure I got some of your fans watching my channel for the first time, but I dwell on this all the time. I'm a big proponent of the superhero names, like are the focus of a superhero character, and I go on and on and on. I'm not going to pontificate again about my rules for superheroes, but Dave gets it. I don't know if you get it unconsciously or if you just, but you come up with, like, your characters could have been created by Stan and Jack, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really crazy. A little while back, you sent me these photographs of like these sheets that you made for your game, right?
Yeah.
With some character names that I also had. That was really crazy.
Yeah, Dave has his main character is 10. She's the perfect 10, you know, and that's, to me, is a great name for a character. She, you know, back from the 70s, there was a Bo Derek movie called 10, and that was like a thing. That girl's a 10. And it's just so perfect that it became like slang for a perfect hot girl. And then she's the 10th android that was created by the system, and she's the perfect. It's just such a good descriptive name. But in my role-playing superhero game, that is like the inspiration for my comic book Heroic Tales, that's available now and Find My Comic for anybody watching from Dave's channel. I created an android character named 10, who was the 10th android in the series, who was the perfect one. She was a hot chick. And, you know, she turned out to be a bad guy because she didn't know any better, kind of, you know, and it's remarkably similar to your story. And I was like, Dave, yeah. So I was going through all my boxes and I found the sheet and I took a picture and sent it to him. And Dave's like, incredible, you know.
Wow, that's indeed crazy. But it would be interesting to see how you would handle the same like principle, the same concept, right? When you would write Perfect 10 with the same premise, the story would be completely different, and that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, the character itself had a lot of similarities, but
sure,
my backstory was aliens were abducting people and studying the human form and copying them to infiltrate. So there was 9 other of these alien androids, but they weren't perfect. The first ones were like monstrous, and then the second one was a little less monstrous. By the time the 8th one was like psychopathic, so people knew he wasn't real. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they got the phys. And 9 was perfect. People believed she was a human. I mean, 10 people believed she was a human. She looked like a human. She acted like. But she was perfect in the fact that she knew she was wrong and her conscience was catching up with her. So eventually she was going to become a good person, but she was a villain originally, you know.
Wow.
It was alien abductions and things like that.
But you said you made that for a game, right?
Right.
So
are you
can
familiar with
can you get all that lore in the game, or is it just like background story, or is it actually something that you can use within the mechanics of the game?
Are you familiar with Dungeons and Dragons?
I know it. I played it once and I was really confused.
Okay, well, so the best way to describe this is there's a game called Villains and Vigilantes. I'm looking over there to see if I had the rule book to show you, but it's a Dungeons and Dragons, but with superheroes. So
Sure.
I would create the world, and all my friends would make up player characters. So one of my friends was Colonel Marshall Strong, and one of my friends was Magnum, and another one of my friends was Visionary, and another one of my friends was the Spartan.
Visionary, that's another one.
And I would make up all the bad guys. So one of my bad guys was 10, who was struggling with, like, the aliens made her too good, that her humanity was overriding her program. So and I got like, binders and binders and binders of character sheets that I've been pulling to make characters for my comic Heroic Tales.
Right.
And in the first issue, I didn't include any of my friends' characters because I didn't think I had the right. And then they all got mad at me. Like, why didn't you include my? So the second issue, I'm going to have a couple of my friends' characters pop in. I didn't want that to be like an argument.
Oh.
How you doing? Thank you. Like and share. Old Fatty says, at 58 Underground says, so many great characters. Yes, Safeguard is a great name for a super team.
Thanks. Yeah, they were initially called the Safeguard 7, which to me sounds really cool when you add this number. But I couldn't really find I named them that way because it sounded cool, but there wasn't really a particular reason why they should be with 7 members, and I didn't want to constrain myself for future issues when members leave or members are added. So I just made it Safeguard, and their headquarters is called Safe Haven.
That is great. Like sometimes you come up with a name, and I'm like, how did I not think of this name? Or how did nobody else think of it? It's such a perfect name for a super team, because
it's really difficult, by the way, to think of a name for a super group.
Yeah, it's for super group especially. Like,
yeah,
you know what sucks is I had the main group in my superhero world. They were non-player characters, so meaning nobody. I controlled them, and they were like the Justice League, and they were there just in case things got crazy. Like they could save the day if the superheroes were, if the players were over the head, or sometimes they play bad guys and they get carried away. They were called the Mighty Seven, and now the Boys has a team called the Seven. So I can never use that. That's too, you know what I mean? That's like, you can't use the Justice League or the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? And I'm like, right. Oh man, I can't use. But 7, you wanted to use, because you know there's the 7 against Thebes. You know, from Greek mythology, there was the 7 samurais, and then there was the cowboy movie, The Magnificent. You know, 7 has been agreed as the team number for superheroes from mythology, right, to samurais to the American West. And I think that's why the Avengers at one point were constrained to 7 characters, and then that became the riff of the 7 and the Boys. You know, the Justice League has 7 core members. You know, it's just 7 is a superhero number.
And I think it is true. But there have been times that, for instance, the Avengers were that the roster was much bigger.
Right.
And to me, I think 7 is a little bit of the max for a super team. So you still get the dynamic, everyone gets their time. But if you go beyond that, it feels more like a little army. Right. You don't need that. You want the team feeling, right?
Right. The only team comic that had more than 7 members and it worked was the
Legion
superheroes. Yeah. You know, under what's his name, Paul Levitz and Keith Giffen. They had like 35 members.
Yeah, but that was the concept of the of that group. That's why they were called the Legion, right? So it's a huge team, but then still it's very difficult to write that and to make adventures with all members.
Right.
You take part of it, right?
Like you and I are crowdfunding comics. We're not doing a monthly comic. Like the Legion, you can have 35 members because, all right, so we're not going to show Sunboy, but 3 months later he shows up.
Yeah.
But with you and I, there's you know, a gap in between. So that's why
it's more like a club, you know. It's more like a club with 35 people.
Right. RRTNZ super chat says 7 is a biblical number featured in Kingdom Come. Yeah, you know, and that there's a reason why there was the 7 days of the week. You know, there's a few numbers that just, you know, have importance. 3, 7, like 44 is like a big biblical number too. But 7 transcends the Bible. It even goes to Greek mythology and Japanese history. Oh, Luniverse is here. How you doing, Luniverse? How's everything? How's everything going?
Hi.
And just so you know, here's the link to Perfect. So tell us about your campaign. I was just filibustering until people wandered in. We got a bunch of people watching now. So we got you linking to your stuff. It was a big galaxy. The Legion needed a small army to deal with the threats. Yes. Again, when I talk about rules for superheroes, people break the rules, but like my brother Mike plays guitar, and he'll explain to me how Jimi Hendrix broke all the traditional guitar rules, but that guy's a genius. You know what I mean? Like there are people who could break the rules, but you know, rules for us normal mere mortals. You know. So do you want to tell us about your campaign? I'll bring it up.
All right, sure. Yeah, so people can still get notified. Yeah, you know, the campaign. So this is part of the bigger campaign. We were on Indiegogo, we were on Fund My Comic, and both of those campaigns are closed right now. So you can no longer back this campaign on the other platforms. And the thing is with Indiegogo, at some point, like you get a lot of backers, and at some point I was in demand stage phase, right? And then occasionally I get a backer, which is awesome. But because my bank is outside of the United States, and Indiegogo sends like, what do you call it, disbursements? What do you
Yeah.
call it?
Yeah.
Um,
Disbursements.
every month. Then the numbers are so small that with every transaction they take like $25 just for the bank transfer. So
Oh,
it didn't do anything for me
so you're
anymore.
getting
Just
a backer, but they're taking money. So you're getting negative money every.
yeah, it
Oh
just
my
cost me
God,
money.
that's a horror story. Oh my God.
So I had to close that, but I still want I still can use funds, right? So I brought it here to Kickstarter to hopefully a new audience of people who I did Perfect 10 before on Kickstarter, you know. So there I know there's a new audience there for it. So I wanted to give the Kickstarter uh, backers also a chance to get the new book. Plus, it would help me, right? So there you
Right.
go.
For some reason, people I don't understand this way of thinking, but whatever. Some people are fans of platforms. Me,
Yeah.
I'm fans of the comic, and I used Fund My Comic for my platform, and I did pretty well. So I'm loyal to that. But I also use Kickstarter, and I did pretty good on Kickstarter. I was a first time creator, so you know. At Dave's level, at my level, we're still, well. Dave's not a rookie anymore. You got like 6 or 7 successful campaigns under your belt, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
More.
me putting myself in Dave's group is hubris on my part, but every penny helps. So I'm gonna use Fund My Comic too, and I'm also gonna use Kickstarter, but I'm done with Indiegogo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to go where you got to go.
Does it suck being outside the U.S.? Sometimes it sucks being in the U.S. too.
Oh yeah. Well, right about now, it sounds pretty cool to be in the US.
Yeah,
I
things are
must
going
say.
good. Dave and I were talking earlier about we're both hopeful that finances are going to be going. I in the next couple of months, I think we're going to see real progress. Is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, Perfect 10. First off, who drew this? Is Paul Roderick's artwork, right?
Yes, yeah. So the entire series is drawn by Paul Rodrigues, and Paul is dedicated to finish the entire series. So he already told me he's ready to go for issue 6. And Paul worked for Marvel also. So he did some Wolverine work. He did some
Oh, I didn't know
Justice.
that.
He did some Justice League work. Um, and Perfect 10 is a story about a biosynthetic meta-humanoid, synthoid for short, and she wakes up in this superhero universe. So we're building a actual full universe with superheroes and supervillains, and it's vibrant, it's alive. A lot of things are happening, and she's basically waking up there. She doesn't know what's going on, and throughout the story, you also have this little sense that she doesn't belong, right? And that's kind of the sense that I want to give the reader also,
You
because
do it.
she doesn't know what she's doing there, and what her role is. So she kind of has to create that role while also being swooped up in this large action adventure that now runs for 5 issues, is a non-stop roller coaster.
Yeah, it is. What Davis did and drew me in right away is she wakes up and it's boom, action just happens, and
Yeah.
she's a blank slate. She doesn't know what's going on. So right away she's under attack, and she's like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say she's a newborn baby because she ain't built like a newborn baby, but she's also like, is it safe to say she has like a superior intellect because she's figuring stuff out really quick?
Yeah, she has what I call like superhuman situational awareness.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So what I think is brilliant that yes, and Ludiverse asked a question that I didn't answer. Dave is the writer. Dave is the
Yes,
writer.
sir. Yes.
It is she's learning it we're learning what's going on through her.
Yes.
It's brilliant, and everybody's got a point. So she doesn't know if she's on the right team, the wrong team. She doesn't know if the bad guys are the bad guys. She doesn't know if the good guys are the good guys, and she doesn't even know if all of the good guys are good guys. Because there's another good guy that's giving her different information. It is. I want to know what's going on, to the point I ask Dave questions, and then I say, "Don't answer that."
Yeah, what I love to do is create something that is very difficult to predict.
Yes.
So because readers are very smart, you give them this story and they will try to figure out what happens next. And so I try to give people some curveballs here and there, and make it unpredictable.
And you got a world full of super characters. I mean, look at all this. All of these characters have a name. They have a design. And Dave is so good. I asked if I could contact his colorist too. So his wonderful colorist is on my comic too, who disappears for weeks at end.
Oh yeah. Daniel, he kind of like he's sometimes a bit frustrating to work with, but ultimately he gets things done, right?
Yes,
and by the way, guys, issue 5, so all the books within this campaign are completed. It's all done. So issue 5 right now is at the printer. I will probably receive the physical books next week.
So let me. So I have all 5. I have pretty much every comic by Genuine. I think I'm only missing a few that you sold out of, and I like them all. You have a universe, and you are the boss of all of Genuine. So like it's a concise universe. You're like Stan Lee over here. You're keeping all the characters consistent. You know what? So when the Flying Dutchman shows up in different, it's the same character with the same powers and the same.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, there are for instance sometimes. Hey Hojo. Sometimes I work with other writers sometimes bring their own characters to this or create characters for this universe. I have this other series called Power Trip, which is also a new book. So issue 2 is just out. You can also get that through this campaign. And Power Trip is this anthology series with shorter stories from the Jamie Comics universe made by different creative teams. So other writers and other artists, they can expand the lore of Jamie Comics, right, with their own stories, but also their own creations or their own characters. And one of the writers is Michael Oden. He's writing American Bliss, which is a series. And so Michael created new villains. Hey, Mike.
Yep.
Michael created new villains, and for issue 2, he brought in other characters from other books that he liked, and he wrote them in there. And then I get the script, and I have to like make some small rewrites or suggestions because the characters aren't like they should be, right? But together we can make it work.
Old Dirty Fatty says he has the best titles. I read the word titles wrong into something else that his characters also have the best of. I'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
But I agree. Dave gets superheroes. If you like superheroes, would it be fair to say that you have like an Image Comics aesthetic, but with like a Marvel writing? And that to me is the best of both worlds, because early Image wasn't known for the best writing, but their art was bombastic and colorful and a lot of fun. But I do believe that Marvel had the best writing in their superhero time. So I to me, that's a compliment that you have the best of Marvel writing with the best of Image art to make such a fun, explosive, I don't know, like bombastic title.
Yeah. It's no
house. I got
Brian Bauer. Hey,
I got to give Brian Bauer a shout out. Brian, I'm going to make my screen big for a second. I just got all of this from Brian today, Wolf and Batsy. If I cannot recommend these comics enough. Brian is
that looks great.
Not only is Brian a great writer, he's a great artist. He does this great coloring. His design senses, but he's a good buddy. And I bounce ideas and scripts, and he's like my sandpaper. But just look at this. So this is a comic about a cute vampire, a ferocious werewolf, just trying to look at this. It's an homage to an old Savage Sword of Conan comic. I just love this. But this was his latest campaign. Look at the quality. This is an old Erie homage. Look at these. It's just so good. But my favorite thing that I got to show for Brian Bow is he put these little plastic spider and bat in, and I'm just so pleased by these. These are gonna live on my desk forever and ever and ever. Amen. So,
I have to catch up on Wolf and Batsy. That looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's up to issue 13, so of course he had to make it a super.
Holy shit, he's working fast.
Yeah. Brian is he's obsessed with his books. And yeah, so number 5 is a memory milestone. Creator of Mike says Brian Bow is the creator of my favorite horror comic book series. Mine too. Wolf and Batsy. I can't speak tonight. Wolf and Batsy is fantastic. I just got that. And
is it really horror, or is it more like a comedy with horror theme?
I would say that Wolf and Batsy is like if you looked at the 70s and the 60s, there was Hammer horror movies. I think they were a British company with Christopher Lee and they were, I don't want to say schlocky, but they were like B movie horrors. They had their own aesthetic. And I think Brian is obsessed with these movies, and he really captured that aesthetic and put it into this comic. So yes, there is bits of humor, but it's horror, but it's not like there was a couple of horror comics that came out in the 80s that were just over the top gratuitous. Brian is very classy. He's very he calls it absurdist horror. Absurdist horror.
Right.
But I just think it is the perfect blend of gore, sexiness, little bit of exploitation, monsters, but like stuff that we loved from a kid. There's nothing
right. Yeah.
Too objective about. And again,
I put
the link. I clicked the wrong button. I put the link if anybody wants to join Dave and I and just talking. Brian, if you want to come in, and Hojo, if you want to come in. What's your advice on new upcoming writers? How to work with an artist? Make sure the artist won't cheat you, and make sure you. Dave, you want to talk? I'm going to drink some coffee while I muster my thoughts.
Oh shit! Won't cheat you, and make sure you can assure you won't cheat them. Well, that's you have control over what you do, right? But yeah, it's I know the problem. This is you just don't really know until you find the perfect artist, and if you do, try to keep them, right? So it goes beyond just the the business aspect. So you have this contract or whatever, but it goes beyond that. You have to actually become a little bit of friends. Yeah. And once you have that established, so you just try to keep them, right? So they have to have fun working with you.
Yeah, you are. One of the things that I do is I saw Dave had some great guys work with him, so I asked Dave if I could approach them. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And then RJ from the Fourth Age had some great talent. That's how I met Renzo. And then Renzo recommended Oscar. And I fortunately I had a YouTube channel for a couple of years, so when I asked people kind of knew who I was. So it was. But if you just go out blind, do not give them 22 pages worth of money before you get 22.
No.
I've heard horror stories of people paying it because you want to be a good guy. You want to do the right thing. And then you pay for 12 pages and then the guy gives you one page and disappears. That I've heard that story so many times.
Yeah, well, this is the good thing that I have my Power Trip series, which are shorter stories. Some stories are just 8 pages, right? So I just hire someone, and if it works out, if we have a good chemistry going on, then I can bring them back for longer stories, right?
Right. But so I recommend find a couple of guys that you just sync with, and I don't have any voodoo magic to say who you should pick. You know what I mean? It's almost like stumble upon. It's like starting a band. You get a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get along or do you not get along and want to work together? But ultimately, if you're paying the bills, you got to be professional too. if you get a page back that you don't like, you got to think, did he draw what I described? Because
Yeah.
because then you got to pay him again to redraw it, like things like that. You got to be professional too. It's a two-way street. And like Dave said, you control how you behave. So Brian would like to say that he really likes Perfect 10 book 1 and he'll be getting the rest.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Brian bought the first printing of the first issue, which is not. He could have bought like the second printing, which is cheaper, but he decided to go for the first one, which is rare nowadays. I only have like 4 copies left. So thank you so much, Brian.
I did that too. I made sure I got the first printing because
right.
Brian and I are old school comic book nuts, and that's the way we behave.
and that book, you will still find some typos, some grammar errors in there, because I had it yet brought on Ali to do the copy editing.
See, this is a perfect example. Dave is hiring Ali, and then they were talking about it on Twitter, and a light bulb went off on my head. Why don't I do that? I had my friends edit my comics, and they didn't charge me anything, but there's a couple of typos, so they're not watching, so I could say you get what you pay for.
Yeah, no, Ali does fantastic work.
Yeah, and that happened to me. What, that you paid and then people walked? That happened. That happened to some big names. Pow's a great guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I love his work. Is modern but classic at the same time. It's almost like he's an alchemist. He's blending.
Right. Yeah, I love his art style.
I got 9 pages and he moved to New York. 9 pages is a lot to shell out for.
Oh, wow. You already got 9 pages in. Yeah, that's like at one point, what do? You want to continue your comic, but you also don't want to waste all the money that you spent, right? So
Right.
do you accept like a style change, or do you just restart everything?
I was just talking to a guy called Fusebox.
Yeah.
And one guy just stopped, but he
Yeah.
found another guy whose artwork is so similar that you didn't really notice the difference. So
lucky.
It worked out. It worked out. I wanted to be supportive, and I love that cover. There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah, thank you, Brian. Excellent.
Which Ali? Ali, how do you pronounce her last name? Sang.
Yeah, she's called Sangui on X.
Right.
She has this brand called Sangui Books or something. She's a writer, right? So it's called Sangui Books. So she's called Ali Sangui, but the real name is Ali Lauderdale.
Oh, I didn't even know what her real name was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got some person popping around. Hello. Good to see you.
Hey, some person.
Good to see you.
Hi there.
And wow. I think I missed a comment. Okay. I did. But anyway, it's good. Hey, some person. I like when people say, so let's make this. This is not available yet. So this is a pre-launch. You sign, notify on launch. So this is to collect emails. And when are you going to launch?
Well, now, right? That's
we're launching now. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's why we're here.
Okay. So do you want to launch right away?
We can do.
Button?
You can do. I just have to press the button. At least
okay,
I hope so.
Build up. I thought we would just do it. Okay. All right. I thought you'd be all right. So now let me take a sip of coffee and get ready.
Sure. Do you have a little intro thing or a little I know.
Let me clear this. So let's see. So first off, let's just show off some of this art here. These are some of your wonderful characters. Tell me about this demon girl. She is just outstanding.
Yeah, I really liked her also. Her name is Diabolique, and she's one of the baddies. One of the what's called the Prime Syndicate, which is this group of like super villains. They bond together to form the Prime Syndicate, and the reasons for that are slowly disclosed throughout the series.
Okay.
So they basically live together in this place called the Prime Citadel. And why, you will figure that out, especially in issue 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's great. She has this little attitude. I just love her.
Yeah, it's a great name, Diabolique. So, all right, now we'll hit the little button and we'll see what
Sure.
happens. All right,
All right.
I'm gonna make it big, and I'll scroll up. And I don't know if I'm gonna have to refresh, but just let me know when you hit the launch button.
All right. I'm doing it right now. Let me see. Drum roll.
Do, do,
Woo.
do, 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 do. I'm so low tech.
It's
So
live. It's live. You
okay,
can
I'm gonna hit
refresh.
refresh and see what happens. Okay, we are live. All
There
right.
we go.
All right, so I'm gonna put it so we can see our faces, and here we go. So you could back this. So this is like you said, the books are already printed.
No, it's
I'm
one
getting
is at the printer. The other one is printed. So I have the
one
second
to
one
four is
right
what I
here.
meant to say. And
So
Power Trip one.
this is the second one you can get. This is a new book. I have it right here. These books are already shipped out to Critical Blast. Also, Critical Blast does my distribution in the United States, right?
We go.
And he's holding on to the boxes until he gets Perfect 10 Book 5, and then he will go ship everything out to the backers.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. The you're in the Netherlands, right?
Yes.
Yes. So what? So are these being printed in the United States and then sent to Critical Blast?
Sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Who's printing your books? I use Comic Wellspring.
No, it's a Dutch like
Oh,
online printer. They do fantastic work. They always do all
your
my
comics
books.
are so well printed.
Yes, yes,
And then you shipping them all to RJ from
yes.
Blast, and he
So
is so good. So you guys, you're gonna get them like quick and efficient. He's
so
doing.
I'm just hoping that the new tariff system doesn't affect my shipments to the United States. That would suck.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
we're doing anything with Netherlands.
oh,
They're not crazy.
I really hope so. Oh, drop it like a bomb. Wait, the link. Let me put the link in the chat.
Oh yeah.
One sec, guys. Copy. Okay, can I put it right here?
Here is the link.
Oh, you have it. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
there's the link. I'm sorry. Hit this link, and you could back the book here. I read 1 to 4. I've been talking about this. Again, I saw the artwork for I think I discovered you around issue 2, and I just fell in love with it. The art is outstanding. How can you not like this? But I really like the story. It's fast paced. Your dialogue is pretty good. Is it fair to say English is your second language?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't even write English as my first language as good as you write English.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I learned a lot of my English from reading comics, right? So
Right.
because I started out reading like Dutch, like European comics, and then I read like these translated books from the United States, from Marvel, from DC, but at some point they either like stopped like translating books here. Plus, I wanted to see what else was out there, and then you had these shops right here. They imported American books, right? So I just started to read English comics.
Okay.
Yeah, and that really helped me develop my my language skills there.
So so you were reading. So they were translating Marvel comics and DC comics into Dutch.
Yeah.
Okay, and then later on, like, were there any? I'm just now you got me curious. Are there any Dutch like original comics like that made it big? Like, you know, like I know Britain has a 2000 AD with Judge Dredd and everything like that. Italy has these wonderful Western comics. You know, like are there any native Dutch comics?
Like worldwide breakthrough comics from the Netherlands.
Local comics. What are local? Dutch comics?
Oh, local comics. Yeah, you had some popular ones. Nowadays it's very very difficult. But back in the day, you had uh, Franca, which was a series um, about this female detective, and you had Agent 457, which was also a detective story, really well done. And I was his nephew was one of my classmates when I was
Oh, okay.
uh, in school. And beyond that, I don't really know if there were any like standout Dutch like comic book authors creators.
Well,
Not many.
you're making your own signature Dutch hero, right? The Flying Dutchman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I just had to do it right, and as this
right,
this Dutch guy, and it's look, man, it's when I write because most of my my stories take place in a fictional version of the United States because I don't live there, so I don't want to put myself in this situation that I write things that just don't make any sense to the American reader, right? But when I do like fictional cities or whatever, then and I keep things vague,
right.
but things that I don't really know much about, then it doesn't really matter where it takes place, right? But but the Flying Dutchman, I wanted to have at least one hero that was from my own country, so I know what's where's that that but it's also a fictional city, right? So it's even cities within the Netherlands are fictional for me. No one knows, right?
Oh, right. You got a backer already. Cool. Dave says, will readers see more of the Streaks and of Auxilium? I'm sure I pronounced that wrong.
Auxilium, yes, Auxilium will return in Pref 10 Book 6. You will see them, and I don't know who the streaks are.
Oh,
There is this motorbike that the 10 has. That's called a streak,
okay.
but but I don't know what the streaks are.
Well, that kind of fits, given that in the first issue she was streaking through the entire.
Yeah.
Through,
By the way, yesterday someone posted something on X that you can't. That are some rules for stories. Some ways you can't like start your story. And one of these rules, I don't know who made up these rules, right? But one of the rules was you can't start your story with someone waking up. And I was like, well, then I'm pretty much screwed. That's the first page of Perfect 10 Book 1.
oh, really?
I, the first page of the comic is so important. You wanted to grab the reader immediately, right? So the first page of the very first issue, I was really thinking how to start that, and it made perfect sense to have this android to wake up in this world she knows nothing about. That was the perfect start, right? The streak. Oh, the streak. Yes. Yeah, I would like to bring the bike back. That's a cool bike, but maybe I should change the name. I don't know, a streak, if that's a good name.
So, yeah, it's like Dave and I talk about this. I have rules for superheroes, but they're more like guide. I mean, for me, they're rules. I probably will never break them, but like if you're good enough and clever enough, I kind of think it like this is the way to think about it, and it'll get you to think about it. And like, okay, I'm breaking it for this particular reason, but
Yeah.
But like again, you said don't start I'm gonna stop this for a second, and I'm gonna share something because you said don't start with people waking up. So this is gonna be issue 2 of Heroic Tales. Is this okay? They're waking up and kissing in the morning.
Yeah, that's a great way to start a book, right?
And I want to say this is because of you. When I read Perfect 10 #1, and I saw you started with such a sexy character, I said, man, if I got to get any traction, I got to compete with Dave Brink over here, and I got Renzo who's drawing beautiful women. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
make
starting
the
with
most of that. All right, so this is the first page of
of,
issue 2. We have a
of
little
issue
sneak peek
2,
here.
and the only
Mhm.
correction I had was I had Renzo throw a blanket. It was a little too explicit. So
So how old, by the way, is the patriarch?
him and his wife are he's 46 and she's 43.
Hmm.
So this is them. You know, I wanted to establish that they are a loving couple. They love each other. This
And
is
they
the
keep in
perfect.
shape.
And at the risk to spoil, what they're talking about is he's like, I'm staying home today. I'm, this is what we're gonna do. And she's like, oh, good. I'm gonna make breakfast. I'm gonna put up. The kids will be so happy because they play Dungeons and Dragons as a family. They got everything set up on the table. We're gonna play. This is so good. But and then duty calls. You know what I mean? So
So is that by accident or on purpose that you have that silo, that
oh yeah.
erect
Well, they live
silo
on a farm. They live
in
on
the
a farm.
background right there?
Yeah, that's Renzo being cheeky.
Pretty suggestive. Yeah.
Yeah. But that they homestead. They live on a farm. They
Yeah.
homeschool.
Pretty cool.
I'll get into why around issue 4, I think. Issue 4. So
Right.
I just want to say I'm breaking the rules too. Don't start with people waking up, but you know what? They're not really waking up. They were already they were awake for an hour or so before we intruded.
The
Oh
the
yes,
only rule
we
is
got 2 backers.
two backers. Hey, thank you so much, guys. That's excellent.
Uh,
Yeah, the funding goal is pretty low because we already did the campaign through other two platforms, right? So this is like extra
Oh,
for
I didn't
people.
even. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so small. My poor eyes. I didn't. Yes,
yeah, pretty low.
my phone. My computer's updating. I hate that. It never updates as soon as I go live. 900 updates. So, Mike from fan of Genuine Comics, is this okay? I hope so, because wait till you see the next page. It's even a little bit more sex. But I wanted to sexy it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Let's just
You
say
know
that,
the only rule you have to abide by when you make your comics is whatever works. You
right.
know, whatever is cool.
I'll just say for page 2, we got to have some clever use of word balloons to make it
Oh, right.
a public awareness campaign. Yeah. What was I going to say? Sounds like advice from someone who doesn't like non-linear storytelling.
Mm.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. People are messaging me at the same time. Guys, I'm an old man. I can't deal with too many distractions. Go ahead, talk while I.
Oh wow, 2 backers. That's fantastic, guys. Thank you. So yeah, when you scroll down, people can see a little bit from the
Okay,
covers.
let's scroll down. Oh, should I play the trailer? The trailer's
Oh
now.
yeah, of course, yeah.
I didn't realize there was a trailer. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would. So I'm gonna make this big. I'm gonna hit that button. Cool.
Wow, 3 backers. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent.
What am I
Wow.
doing now? I'm trying to hit buttons, and I get carried away. I forget that I get so into the trailer, I forget that I gotta control the buttons. Why evil alien robot? Why is her shirt sucked under her boobs? First off, because it's sexy. Second off, because she's wearing like nanotech suit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called skirmish. The fabric that's made from skirmish. Yeah, it's like superhero outfits. Everything is skin tight and it's it's comic book stuff. Like it has to be skin tight and sexy and form fitting.
I'm just gonna refresh this so we get an image back in that box rather than
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, like the Fantastic Four. Everything is unstable molecules.
Oh yeah.
Which I think such. I've always loved that, even as a kid. So, and what is the name? Skirmish.
Yeah.
Which is a great name, man. Dave, you were so clever. Let me just say right now, there's no way that I would ever learn Dutch and then be clever in Dutch. Right. So you learn English and then you're clever in English. It's outstanding. Comic book physics make chicks' clothes work like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Things about 7 of 9, right? 7 of 9 wore medicinal Borg approved outfits on Star Trek, and she looked great.
She looked fantastic.
Yep, she sure.
And that actress really, we had to make sure she stayed in shape.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They're getting paid $60,000 to $100,000 a week episode.
Right. Yeah, you better stay in shape. That's the least you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect 10 textiles. Yeah. And again, Dave has got all of the tropes of a superhero universe. He's got a government agency. He's got the good guys. He's got the bad guys. He's got ambiguousness. And you even have You even have a name for the outfits. This is just so much fun. When I do the origin of my signature character, the Patriarch, we're going to see the government getting involved and why super suits resist their superpowers and stuff like that. It's just so much fun to create that. So
yeah, man.
Let me ask you, you have a whole world mapped out, right?
Oh yeah. It's constantly building in. And the fun thing also is that while I'm writing this, I'm also discovering things, right? So because at some point I need a certain character or need a certain agency or I need something, and then I have to create it. And so while writing, things just happen and this world grows, right? And that's really fun for me also, that I know the basics, but I don't know everything yet about my own world.
God is approving, because as Dave was talking, my whole house just shook with thunder. There's a big snowstorm and thunder. So
holy shit.
How are you? Yeah. So yes, you got many characters. Each one of you characters. One of the things that I did like is in issue 1, it was just like an avalanche of characters just came running out. And you managed to work their names. There was only like I'm gonna remember. I'm just working from memory, but there was like 20 characters, and you worked their name, and only one of them did I miss. That I went, and I thought that was
there's only one not mentioned.
Right. So I asked you, but it wasn't like Marvel or DC that used to do it like, "Hi, I am Iron Man, and I am here to like." It was worked into a natural dialogue that.
Yeah, that was the thing, that from the Crimson character, I couldn't work the name in a natural organic matter, and I didn't think it really mattered for that issue. But in the second issue, you get to see him immediately, so his name, he will be mentioned, so he gets a bigger role later on, right?
Yeah. So every writer, at least for superheroes, for comic books rather than just superheroes, some of the characters kind of just run away and demand more time. Like I originally, my comic Heroic Tales, it was supposed to be an anthology, and the Patriarch just demanded star status. Are any of your characters demanding more and more time that you just like, this character is too good, I got to give him more or her a spotlight?
There are some that I would like to give more room, right? And so slowly, when possible, I will give characters some more room, but I especially noticed it with villains, that people respond well to certain villains, and I'm like, I need to bring this villain back. For instance, with issue 1, people really liked Chernobyl, right? But he only appears in one book, so he doesn't return for issue 2. But so we brought him back for American Bliss issue 1, right? So people like a specific character, and we listen. And so what can we do with this character? And the same with for instance, Vendetta, which is a character from issue 3. And I think we need to do more with her, because people really like her. So these are things that I take into consideration. So feedback from people,
Right.
which
Like,
characters do people like?
let's just imagine now that your book just takes off, like to your wildest dreams, and now you have the resources to make 5 titles a month, or what, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which I imagine I imagine Flying Dutchman, would he get his own series?
I'm not. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure, because Flying Dutchman doesn't read. There are some characters exist within this universe because they fit a certain like archetype within the universe. Like, this world has its Superman, right? I don't really need to tell the stories about the Superman that we have, but he's there. He's a presence, right? But yeah, sure. When I have the resources, we could to do that. But I would rather do like a Safeguard, Gorgeous and Grotesque.
Yeah,
Some
Gorgeous.
of my personal favorites, and I really like to do a series with them. So they are like, I have been talking with Pau. Pau was originally before we did Perfect 10, he was to draw Gorgeous and the Grotesque, but I couldn't get the story right, and I was afraid that he would move on to other projects, and so I proposed the Perfect 10 premise concept, and he was like, "Sure, man, let's."
I know Gorgeous and Grotesque are fan favorites. Every time I see on Twitter people are putting fan action, and I tell you, man, there's something about a super hot chick with a monster that people just like Brian Bauer's doing it with Wolf and Betsy.
Oh yeah,
Fire Girl and a werewolf, Angel and the Ape from DC. I don't know. Men don't mind being ugly, but hot chick and an ugly guy. Me and my wife, it's monsters and good looking girls. And Zach 10's giving us the blessing. Oh, you got 4 backers.
Right.
4 backers, yes.
4 backers. Whoa, thank you so much.
We're about halfway to the goal already. You guys are awesome.
By the way, John, is this your first launch stream?
I launched who else? I launched somebody else too, but it's fun and exciting and it's stressful. Oh, Brian just back. I just backed issue 5 and added on issues 2, 3, and 4 I still needed. Thank you.
Wow, Brian, thank you so much, man. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, excellent.
And Brian, do you want to come in and talk? Monkey Man and O'Brien. Monkey Man and O'Brien was Arthur Adams' comic, and I freaking loved it. And I think there's like less than 10 appearances of Monkey Man and O'Brien, and it was so good. I wonder, did it not catch on? Did he get tired of it? I don't know why, but that's a deep cut. If anybody's interested in that archetype of the hot girl, and it's a girl that gets superpowers. She gets like strong and tough, and then she has like an intelligent. I think the same mishap makes an intelligent ape and a super girl.
Right.
It's drawn by Arthur Adams, one of the best comic book artists of all time, and it just, I don't know, it came and it went like a bolt of lightning, and people still remember it like Dirty Fatty. There's also the Monster Gals, both monster, yet a lot more human than the male monsters. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, can you still introduce a like really smart, intelligent primate in your comic without it being absolutely cliche? And
I hope not. And I'll leave
you have one? Oh.
And I think you have the same name as me. Oh, I forgot this. Your character Chernobyl. I have a bad guy named Chernobylman, and he's
Nobleman.
the
Oh,
Chernobylman, and he's like a medieval knight, but with radioactive.
oh, like nobleman.
Yeah,
That's
like a
clever.
noble, but he's the Chernobylman, and and he has like medieval but atomic armor and everything like that.
Oh
I got to get
yeah,
that character sheet to show you too. That's another
that's
one.
clever, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Art Adams draws. Stop with the
Slow.
Art Adams draws slow, but 30 years you could put out another issue
Oh
of
yeah.
Monkey Man and O'Brien.
Yeah, man. Can
Maybe
you
it didn't
scroll down a
sell.
little bit, John?
What's that?
Can you scroll down a little bit so people can see is a little bit of the campaign?
Uh,
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this is the cover to issue 10. I apologize. I got so interested in our conversation.
Yeah, man. No
This is
worries.
issue 5. And tell us about this character.
Oh, that's like the like. So you have the Prime Syndicate, which is this large group of like criminal superpowered humans, right? And they form this huge group, and they are led by their what she's basically their queen, and she's called Calamity.
That is a great name. Again, I love your names. Calamity.
Yeah,
Just look at that face and look at that name, and that steers you in the correct direction. It is so good, so clever.
I didn't get why no one used the word
Right,
Calamity yet.
You
So-
come up with names, and I'm just like Safeguard. How is there 70 years of superhero comics and
Yeah.
nobody used the name Safeguard? When I saw that you used it, I was like, damn, it was right there. It was right there, and Dave grabbed it. You know,
Sometimes a name is just so perfect, and then I Google it and I notice that no one used it, and then I begin to doubt the name, and I'm like, why did no one use this yet? What's wrong with this word, right? Because I'm not really English, so I have to really make
Right.
sure that the word really works, right? But Calamity wasn't used, and I was like, oh, all right.
all of your
I
names
know.
so far, like again, I got all your comics. I read them all, and I'm kind of nitpicky about strange things, and I'm very forgiving about other things. But your names are spot on. Like that's guys, I'm not exaggerating. Perfect 10 is right now my favorite superhero book. Dave is firing on all cylinders. You know, it's action, it's sexy, the names make sense, and there's a story to it. You know.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
this is a launch party for Kickstarter. Dave is finished with Indiegogo and Fund My Comic. Not finished good. They just ran their course.
those are closed.
And because of the banking issues of being outside the state, it makes more sense to reopen it on another platform.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Plus, so the Indiegogo campaign closed because of the bank issues. So now basically cost me money when I keep it up, when I keep it like open. And the Fund My Comic campaign is closed because the books are at the printer right now. So people could get the cover that we made for Fund My Comic for a special price. But now the books are at the printer, so I had to close it.
And you're printing again. This is another thing. I'm again. I keep talking about how helpful. Like right now, there's so much negativity in the comic space. I'm focusing on the positive, and like Brian, he helped me find a printer. He told me what settings to use. Like he's been very, very, very helpful, and I love the printing. But your comics, I just assumed that they were printed in the States, but you have a Dutch, and your comics are the closest out of anybody's comics that feel like traditional Marvel and DC old school comics. I wish your company was in the States so that I could get printed by your comics. They feel right. And to an old fart like me, I'm very tactile. I want my comic books in my hand, and they're just awesome.
Well, I want to give people something that has some value, right? And these books that we make are printed on a bit more sturdy paper, so the cover also is a bit more sturdy than what you're used to from like floppy size. These are like bigger floppy size. So when you get something, you can actually feel that you have something with value, right?
So tell us about this cover. This is 10, your main character with the big guns.
Yeah, it's cover B. So we usually do 2 covers. So Pow draws 2 covers. We have this. This kind of happened because we have multiple ideas for covers, and we can't choose. So I'm like, just make them both, right? So yeah, So I like covers to kind of reflect what's going on within this particular issue.
Me too.
So I can't really tell more about that, but yeah, she has this really 90s like ridiculous high tech armor with this giant gun, and if you look closely, you can even see the number 10 in the weapon. It's really it's so fantastic.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen it if you didn't point it out.
Yeah.
It's. I'm touching it with the cursor like you can see it, but yes, I see the 10. I'll make it big. Can anybody else spot the 10?
Yeah, that's really cool.
I can also see a couple of 38s.
Well, I just told Pow, just draw 10 with the biggest gun you can fit
And
on
this
the page, right?
This is the variant.
Yeah, this is so. This was the same cover that was on Font My Comics. We have some so printed some extra, so people can get that as add-on. But it's double the price here than what it was on Font My Comic.
Could just because I love your names, would you be able to go around and name all the characters that I'm seeing?
Roll call. Well,
roll call.
Yeah, so the bad, so the one up top, that's Calamity, right? And then you go to her right. She's called Phantasma in the back there.
Perfect.
The flying lady. Then you have the big guy's called Iceberg.
Perfect.
Then the lady with the long blonde hair is called Wisp.
I don't think the hair is the first thing people are going to notice, but yes, okay, the lady with the long blonde hair, Wisp,
yeah, like a wisp of hair, you know.
Okay.
And then you have the small dude. He's called Pinball.
Okay, I'm going to make it big again. Pinball, okay.
And then you have 10, of course. And then the guy on the left is called Ethos.
Ethos?
Yeah. He has like strong principles, like his powers. His powers are like that he converts negative emotions into a force for good, right?
Oh, okay.
And then on the left of the bad guy, you have Stellar.
Oh, wow. See, he was my favorite. I wanted to know about him. Just that look just drew me in. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody else, but like that's nebula space look.
That's a cool look. Yeah, and he's one of the most easiest characters to draw.
Just so cool.
Just a black surface, and the rest does the colorist, right?
What does he say? Man, fan of genuine comics. On that cover, 10 and Wisp look phenomenal, but Wisp nearly outdoes 10 herself.
in the original, bye Brian. Thanks so much for backing, sir. In the original layout that Alan Goldman, who made this cover, he sent me the layout, and the positions of Wisp and 10 were like different.
Okay.
Like 10 was where Wisp is right now, and vice versa. And I asked him to switch that because I also wanted the the main character to look at the reader, to face the reader.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yeah. And what? Oh, and here's some interior art, right?
Yes, this is what you get. The quality in the book. So Paul Rodriguez is drawing the art. Daniel Rodriguez is doing the colors. And for the first time, we brought on a inker, Thiago Gomez,
oh, wow,
to help Pau out. And this particular scene, this big panel, is based on a cover from Mike Deodato Jr. from Wonder Woman from 30 years ago or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. There's Stellar in the background.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
this looks amazing.
that's cool, huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad. I think anybody who does not include interior art pages is you got to let people know that the art, it's because let's face it, some people put great art on the cover and then subpar art inside, but
Yeah.
this is outstanding.
By the
This
way, this the villainous vendetta.
Vendetta, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw a comment up that it's you can't go wrong with fishnets.
fishnet.
But
That does
Vendetta
it.
is
Yeah.
a great name, and it suits her power suits. It suits her reason for existence. And would
Yes.
love that nighttime far setting. Yeah, and
Oh yeah, that's also something, right? I try to change things up as much as possible within the series. So I don't want to have like 3 issues at the same location. So you have to change things up.
because
But
she's
we,
breaking out of a facility in the first couple of issues, so
yeah, yeah. So the
a
first
lot of
issue
George
with
Perez, Jack
the
Kirby
facility, yeah. Then the
background.
second issue, that's the city, right? And then the third issue, you go to the Prime Citadel, and then so later issues also take place at the Citadel, but have to switch things up. So I thought of a lot of creative ways to get new sceneries, new locations.
So is this a 2-page spread?
Yeah, that's a crazy 2 page spread. That's I love this. I love this.
Yeah,
And
I wish I could enlarge it. Can I enlarge? No, I can't. Uh, that, but it guys, trust me, if you can't see all the detail, there's like a billion characters. This is like George Perez on the Monitor Citadel in the Crisis of Infinite Earths. Just a million
yeah,
characters. You can
plus
see.
there's plus so Pau drew this, right? But sometimes when I write, I sometimes change my mind about the story, and sometimes it it happens when pages are drawn already. So I have some pages that are done, drawn, but never used because the story changed.
Right,
It does happen,
right.
and in this case, it meant that Pau had to draw this particular spread twice because the story changed, so characters changed. Uh, so
What do
so
you
he
do
was
about so? I it's just this is just something I was talking with Renzo, the artist on my comic, that he keeps sending me sketches for characters, stuff like that. I'm like, no, not like that, but we'll do it like this. And then I was like, you know what? So we're making a folder, and somewhere down the road, I would like to make an art book, and then maybe
Mhm.
my musings on like my rules for superheroes. So would you do something like that, like the an art of Perfect 10 or art of Genuine Verse, like this character changed suddenly? I just
Oh yeah, well we
that was
have
hard.
two art books. We have two art books right now. The Art of Genuine Comics.
Okay, cool.
We do have that, and we have a artist edition of Perfect 10 Book One, where you can see like the layouts and you can see sketches and
Oh,
stuff
wonderful,
from
wonderful.
Pau. But later on, I will try somehow to show people the page that were never used um, somehow, sometime.
Yeah, because Pow's art is just it's like I said, it's the best of both worlds. It's modern comic book art, but at the same time, like he has like look at this. This is just classic Fantastic Four you've been taught, but it's also
Yeah,
modern at the same time. And
yeah.
man, I don't know how you found Daniel, but his coloring is just so good. I
Well, I found Daniel through Pau because Pau brought him on.
You see, that'll answer Luniverse's question earlier. You found one guy who's talented. Listen to his recommendations.
Mhm.
Renzo recommended Oscar Crano, who's me and Oscar. We're talking every day. We're working on, and that's why I keep saying top 10 instead of perfect 10, because
Oh
we're
yeah.
working on a comic where it's a meta where the main character in the comic is reading a comic called Top 10. So I apologize for all the time. My old man brain keeps saying the wrong thing. And here's
By
that.
the way, thank you guys. We got another backer. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
good. Oh, look,
We're halfway
I'll
there.
scroll up for a second, but
Woo.
I love look. Oh, nice. We are more than halfway there, guys.
Yeah.
More than halfway.
Wow. Thank you guys.
But look at as a good kid who went to Catholic school, I have to admit that I have a thing for devil chicks. So
Yeah.
This is just awesome. Awesome devil chick.
Yeah, I love her also. So
Yeah.
I liked this character so much that I figured out a way to bring her back for future issues.
And Diabolique is just you know why I really like that name? Because you don't like a girl, a devil chick, she would kind of have like a hybrid superhero fantasy name. And
Mhm.
Diabolique is just, it walks that tightrope. It could be a superhero villain name, but it also could be a fantasy name. So, man, like I said, if I was to learn Dutch, I would never be clever in Dutch. You learned English and you're clever in English. It's just amazing to me.
Right.
I also drew War Goddess 1 to 4 with Matt Martin covers, some explicitly adult.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think I have those comics.
Oh.
I think I have those comics. It just sounds so familiar. That's the problem when you have so many comics. You forget. Does Amanda B know this dropped? I don't know who Amanda B is.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if she knows it's live right now, but she shared it earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, look at this.
Pau also drew a Star Wars comic.
Oh, for Marvel or IDW.
Yeah, I don't know what publisher, but I think last year or the year before he did this Star Wars comic. Yeah, this is Pau's pencil work.
Oh, look at that.
I thought it was cool to show.
Oh, it's totally cool.
So, but this page is completely done, right? It's completely inked by Thiago. It's colored by Daniel. So, but this is cool to show people how the process goes. And I love this scene also, plus this new villain. So every issue we introduce new characters, and this is one of the new villains is the guy you see here with the cape. He creates these force fields, right? really cool. A spectral.
Okay.
Because he creates like he was really difficult to name. I needed this name for a character with invisibility powers and who could create invisible force field and stuff.
Well, that fits.
Spectral, yeah, that
Yeah.
it wasn't used, so yeah, that was the name.
That fits. I really love this woman trapped. That's Wisp again, right?
That's Wisp, yes.
Yeah, I just love the way she's moving. Like,
yeah, the hair is constantly moving, right? So I had to explain to Pau. So she has this hair like a tentacle. So he can't draw it like, for instance, with Medusa, and that you have this big like cloud of hair, but it's more like one long like a wisp, right?
So, almost like a wave of hair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? Like, Todd McFarlane's Spawn. His cape is always in motion.
Oh yeah, right. Something like that. Yes.
But what but her shoulders, the way she's twisted, it looks like she's trying to grab onto something, but it's a force field, so she's just like, a little bit unbalanced. It really, really works. Really works.
Pau is really good with body language and with facial expressions and stuff like that, which really helps when you make a comic book, a visual thing. Right. Sometimes you just want to make scenes without dialogue, for instance, and then the visuals have to tell the story through expressions and body language.
So this is the cover to Power Trip.
Power Trip, yes. This book is printed. It's already at Critical Blast. And these are 3 shorter stories. So we have like Shadow Lion is created by Jamie Cardoso. He's from Brazil. The character is also from Brazil, and he's like a street level hero.
All right.
Fighting street crime.
And in the middle is.
And then we have the Flying Dutchman, and he meets this new character called Brisk. She's like a speedster.
That's a great name.
And then we have the third story. So by the way, the Flying Dutchman is written by myself and drawn by Pau. And then we have the third story, The Phenomenals, is written by Lee Byron Carver and drawn by Gilbert Monsanto. And that's about 5 super powered beings, metanormals. They're called metanormals in this universe, who don't make it through the academy. So you have this. So in this world, you have like superheroes who get paid by Division M. Division M is like the agency that oversees metanormal threats, and so they have to monitor that constantly, right? So they try to recruit metanormals to become superheroes, to pay them to work for them, for the government. It's all government funded, right? So they have this training program, this academy that metanormals need to go through, but many of them never make it through because of like attitude problems, or they don't control the powers or whatever. And these 5 never made it through the academy, but they decide to form this group anyway and become superheroes. So basically, they are like a superhero team without like permission from Division M.
I hate to say this, Dave, but me and you are on the same wavelength. Issue 6, issue 7 is going to have a similar concept of
oh, cool.
I have a group of superheroes. I don't want to give the name or anything, but they just don't make it. They just, they got problems, and now our government agent is making it his pet project to like, come on, these guys are trying so hard. We'll give them a chance. So that's why I said me and you were on the same wavelength. Is it any wonder I love your comics so much?
Thank you.
Mike, fan of Genuine Comics, says Wisp hair is in better shape than Spawn's cape, though. Yeah, well, I would think that Wisp is in better shape than Spawn for a couple of reasons. She uses 10 bottles of Head and Shoulders every day.
She
Head and Shoulders is shampoo here in the United States. This is fascinating, Brink.
Thank you so much.
Geek, are you familiar with Genuine Comics? Is this the first time you're hearing about it? Because either way, that's fine. Because I want to spread the word of what I think is the best superhero comic coming out right now.
Oh wow! Thank you.
So
Shadowline, and the Shadowline story is drawn by either Messiah, and he's right now working for Marvel. He's doing the Moon Knight series. Yeah.
So is this another comic, or is
this is part of Power Trip? So these are like covers within the book.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. So every story has its own little cover.
Oh,
Shadowline, and so this is a character created by someone else, and he brought it to the Genuine Comics universe because they didn't do anything with the character, and so he approached me. He was like, maybe you can use it. So we made a story with this character because he fit perfectly within the Genuine Comics universe.
So he's part of the universe now. He interacts.
Yeah. We integrated him into the Genuine Comics universe.
Oh, so this is the first time you've seen these comics. Well, if I may, back these, if I may use what little clout I have, that they are really, really good comics.
Well, if you like superhero stuff, then this is the best superhero work that I can do. That I think if you loved like Marvel, DC stuff like that, Image, and you're kind of disappointed with what they're doing nowadays, I think this universe, this Genuine Comics universe, harkens back to the good times when with sexy superheroes and cool action and colorful adventures and stuff like that. It's like the comic that I want to read and I'm missing right now from the mainstream.
Yep.
So this character is also it's created by the writer Jochem van der Steen. He's another Dutch guy, and he wrote this Shadowline story. And he introduced this character called the Bestafera, and that's based on a Brazilian legend or myth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love when they use mythology in comic. I love these guns too. Draws guns.
Yeah.
And here he is, the Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman, yeah, man. Yeah. So the Flying Dutchman, he's like the like the goody character, you know, like not a character that has a particular like arc for himself, but more a character that inspires other heroes and other people to be better. To
Mike, fan of Genuine Comics, is kind of disappointed. Yeah, Dave is being polite and nice. No need to go negative. But yes, what Marvel and DC are doing to their own brand is it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm wondering if things are going to change now that Trump is investigating where all of our tax money is going to. That's about as political as I want to get. First time I heard the story detail, definitely want to get into this universe. Oh, good.
oh, excellent.
Hey, Gordon, good brother. How you doing?
Hey, Gordon.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I know Gordon's a fan of your comics.
Gordon, you got an email, sir. So yeah.
I like the Flying Dutchman. Again, I like a Boy Scout superhero. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like it when there's a superhero that is like the epitome of like what a superhero should be. So this is no brainer that this is one of my favorites of yours, and I like that you used Dutch symbolism. Like he's got the orange lion. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. The lion is the symbol right here in the Netherlands, the Dutch lion, and plus the color orange. So I had to put it somewhere. So the cape is orange right now.
Right. I grew up in Nassau County in New York, which was founded by Dutch. And is there a Nassau in Holland, in Netherlands?
A what?
Nassau? Because the
Nassau?
community college is the Lions, and they have orange lions from when Long Island was a Dutch colony. You know, so it's part of. That's probably why I'm a little biased towards the Flying Dutchman, because it's part of where I grew up. We had these.
Right.
The football team had orange lions from back from the Dutch time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, New Amsterdam. Yeah, look at that. That is just cool. That is just cool.
Yeah, it's a cool character, right?
Yeah, cool. I really like it. Simple and elegant, not a wasted line. You know, so cool.
No, cool. You know, I can't write Superman, but I can write the Flying Dutchman. So yeah, that's
until there's a change in DC, I wouldn't want to write Superman. You know,
no. Well,
this is phenomenal.
You technically do, right, with your own Superman,
right? Yeah. Oh, you Kojo, you live around here? I'm gonna.
Yes. Woohoo! Yes, new readers. I love
new readers. Yes,
bringing more readers, guys.
I am biased also for Phenomenals, because Gilbert Monsanto, he's been drawing characters for that game, Villains Vigilantes.
Yeah.
That for 20 years, he's been drawing supplemental stuff and modules and things. You know, characters. So if you buy products from Fantasy Games Unlimited with Villains Vigilantes, you're going to see his artwork. And now I get to see a guy that I've been a fan of in comic books. So how cool is this?
There was
all of his characters.
There was this website for a game, for superhero game. I don't remember the names, but they used like drawings that Gilbert did for other creators, right? And I saw some of my own characters there with completely different names. So they just picked those drawings, gave them different names and stats and whatever, but they weren't my characters no more. But that I think that site got closed down.
Oh, yeah. So I'm trying to. Craig, one of my old players, he moved across the country and he still hires Gilbert to design his characters. So it's funny because we're on a Villains Vigilantes forum, and I see his characters. I've been seeing Gilbert's work for 20 years, so it's so cool to see him in a comic book.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just because I love your names, could you name these characters?
Sure. Starting from the top, that's a silver bird. That's by the way a actual bird. That's a real bird with the name Silver. And I was like, that's perfect, you know.
Okay.
Then we have the girl with the white hair, she's called Tranquility. Then we have the big guy's called XL, so from extra large.
Right. That is so clever.
So she can like grow like giant size, you know. Then we have the guy in the red. He's called Breakdown. And then we have Visionary, the leader.
Yeah. And yeah. I'm gonna keep your stuff up, but I was gonna show you a drawing of I have a Visionary also. Completely different look, but like just shows you that we're on the same stat. Dave stats 33 double D, developers new stat speed, website shuts down. Please everyone like and share. Yes, everybody like and share. So I wanted to ask you, but in one of my videos, somebody commented in the chats that that a lot of superhero names are all the good ones are taken, and I have to open up my mind to new types of superhero names, because like I famously gone off on Cable. You know, I just can't stand the character Cable because the name has nothing to do with.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Like it's all right. The guy's name is Matt Cable, but then you know it's not a superhero. It's a science fiction name, and like everybody likes the character. So I'm wrong. So what do you feel? Is it tough to come up with superhero names? Is it done? Do we have to change the
well it's pretty difficult nowadays because so many characters have been created. Yeah, sure, but sometimes I just find the name within 2 seconds.
Right.
But other times I have like it takes me months to find the right name, right? So it really depends on because you want the name to reflect the character in some way, and that's the most difficult part. And some powers are a bit easier to find names for. For instance, for speedsters, it's much easier. But finding a good name for someone with just super strength, like the big guy of the team, that's really difficult because all the good names are taken, right? So you have to get really creative.
What's your philosophy then? Do you come up with, okay, I really want a super strong guy who gets big, and then work on a name, or does a name pop into your head and then that creates the character?
Yeah, it can go both ways. Can go both ways. So with Tranquility, for instance, that was like Tranquility. That's a cool sounding name, and from that came the superpower of someone who can calm the world.
Perfect. You know, I always say
around her.
Superhero name is the focus for a superhero.
Yeah, so she has this calming aura, you know. So but that came from the word.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I could show some. Okay. Do you mind if I take this down and show you something?
Sure, man.
I'll put yours back up, and then we'll see how many backers you have. So this is a page from Heroic Tales. There's 2 stories in Heroic Tales. This is page 10 of.
Wow, that's a lot of panels.
Right. So this is Mary Sue's going through trauma up here, and then you'll see through the dialogue that this is a flashback. She's thinking of the day before. So here is, you know, just little quick superheroes, you know. Can you guess which one is Visionary?
Oh. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
See if I can make it bigger.
When you use the mouse, you press the control plus
it's not
with mouse. It doesn't work. Let me see. Visionary. I can't really see. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. Right. So the first one that's a speedster with the arrow helmet.
Right. You know what her name is?
No.
The Go-Getter.
Go-Getter. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But immediately you saw that she was a speedster. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second one is maybe some sort of Superman kind of character.
Yep.
Right.
His name is the Peacekeeper.
The Peacekeeper. All right. And the third one.
He's affiliated with the UN, so he's the Peacekeeper.
All right, the Peacekeeper. Right. The third one is like some sort of Hawkeye, but with guns.
Right. He's Colonel Strong. He's like a Captain America, Nick Fury mashup.
All right, and the third one's like, is it like a Valkyrie kind of character?
Yep.
All right, so that's
Her name is
so.
Shield Maiden.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect name. And I think that has to be a powerhouse character. The other one, the
Yeah, you can't see, it's too small, but he's got a big M on his chest that looks like a magnet, and his name is Magnum. So he's super strong and
Magnum.
magnetic powers.
Okay, right. Then we have the one next to that. He's pointing to his head, indicating that he has some kind of telekinetic or, or telepathic powers, like Jean Grey, but he doesn't look like it. So the design doesn't look like a telepathic character, but he acts like it.
He's visionary. See, he's got an eyeball on his.
Oh, that's visionary. All
Yeah,
right.
his powers are he has all different eyesight abilities. He can X-ray vision, heat vision, laser vision. He's
Yes.
got like an ultra vision and infravision, and he also has like a specter vision that he
Oh,
doesn't quite understand. So he can like see ghosts and stuff.
oh,
But
oh,
the
oh,
only
that's
one I wanted to point is this girl down here. Her name is Starlet. Now, from her look and her name Starlet, what do you think her powers would be?
light-based powers.
Right. She's Starlet. She's like a cosmic girl. She has all the powers that a star would have. So she could fly, electromagnetic radiation, heat, fire. She could survive in space, but at the same time, she's like a movie starlet that wants to she's concerned with her likes on Instagram and stuff like that. She wants to be a movie
Oh,
star. So she's got problems.
wow.
But I just wanted to show you my visionary. So
Cool.
they're a little different. I'm going to bring back.
Really powerful character, right? Do you sometimes? I sometimes look at these profiles of the mainstream characters because I just like to read like these backstories and the powers and see what's that about. And many of these characters nowadays are just ridiculous with the power sets, man. Because they've such a long history of stories with writers who want to add their own
Right,
stuff.
power creep.
Yeah, so now that
more powerful.
I wouldn't know nowadays if I got the assignment to write the X-Men, for instance. I wouldn't know where to begin, man. Every character like Jean Grey, Iceman, they're all so extremely powerful. It's ridiculous.
And I find that to be a little dull too when everybody's super, because then the bad guys have to be super. I think it's a lot of fun to just have a street level fight, like Shadow Lion stopping muggers in the street. It's personal. Like Daredevil. Daredevil's a character that everybody likes. He's fun, and his niche is carved out. He's not going to go out and take out Ultron and stuff, but everybody loves the fact that like he's in a small area of Manhattan and it's personal. He's in I like that. Like I mean, I also like Captain Marvel fighting Thanos, but sure. Not everybody has to be that. And yes, Kojo, Starlet is like a Captain Marvel. Yes,
right.
And Gordon Goodbrother has 14 superpowers. That's good.
Wow,
that's good. Wow. I only have 3, so good for you. The Omega levels are getting ridiculous. Super needs to cut back on the roids. Yes. So what do you feel about what people always ask you? Could Perfect 10 beat the Hulk? Could Perfect 10 beat so and so? And a couple of people were surprised when I said, if the Patriarch was to fight Spider-Man, the Patriarch being my main character, I said Spider-Man would whoop ass on the Patriarch.
Oh, really?
I don't like all powerful heroes. I think it's boring. I think it's dull. And I'm leaning towards a super team. So what, if everybody's all powerful on the super, then they don't need to form a team.
No. This is why I don't really like the Justice League. They never really appealed to me. There's too much power going on with the Flash and with Superman and Wonder Woman. It's too much. They don't need to be in this team. Right. So when I created Safeguard, it was specifically to put people together who need each other, right? They
complement each other.
yeah, there's this dynamic going on. They aren't ridiculously powerful. There's no need, right? By the way, I I like the Daredevil series, uh, and the television series, but I noticed that basically he had the power to to see when someone was carrying this weapon, and he could tell you're carrying a weapon there on your. And I was like, uh, that's a bit much. That's
Yeah,
a bit ridiculous for a blind character. So when he's blind, what what's the purpose of him being blind? It's no handicap when you can even see things that other people can't
right.
see,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
hidden weapon, right? It was a bit too much
Did they
for me.
explain it like he was limping, or did he smell the gun oil? Because
Yeah, something like that.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
smelt the gun oil, then I could see it. Because
yeah.
if you're a gun guy, you know what that smell is. But
Sure.
if he just knew that the guy was packing a gun, then yeah. Uh, before we talk about this commissions, I was on somebody's channel. You know, I'm on other people's channels hawking my comics too. And somebody in the chat said, "I'm making a character, and he's the most powerful superhero. My character could beat Superman. He could beat the Hulk, beat your character."
Yeah.
And I
Yawn.
and I was like, "Okay." I said, "But that's something a child would make. You know,
Mhm.
a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old kid makes the most powerful super character, and
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, a One Punch Man already did it. Like, do you think your character's going to be more interesting than One Punch Man? You know, but okay, so you beat my character. What does that mean? You're better than me? I mean, I don't know what you were getting at. It's it just sounds boring, childish, and amateurish.
Holy shit.
My daddy character is stronger than your daddy character. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, we are funded. We are funded, guys.
Oh wow!
Holy shit. Thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
and guys, I must stress that is a Dutch shit. That Dutch shit transfers to the
I'm
United
sorry.
States in a
I'm
different.
sorry. I didn't mean to
No,
curse,
no, no,
guys.
no. I'm just making a joke. I'm just making a joke, guys. Thank you so much. Oh wow,
Wow.
I'm just as excited as
Fantastic.
Dave. You know why? Because that means I get more comic books from Dave.
Woo! Yes, thank you, guys.
Uh,
Wow.
oh, person speaking my I don't. Kojo speaks in a interesting language. The Dutch shit. Yes, the Dutch shit. Thanks to the embargo, it's 25% tariff shit that comes to the United States. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just excited for you, Dave. Bang,
Oh,
bang.
wow. This is crazy.
He
Thank you
said
so
bang.
much.
Oh, you know what? I was having so much fun just talking about this. I kind of forgot that we were launching a comic book because Dave, I really truly enjoy talking with you about comic book stuff. This is actually a funny comment. Good
Yeah.
with a character called that would be a fun. The schoolyard bully turns into a supervillain. Um, I can't spoil any more than I actually spoil. Congratulations, Dave. Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Fantastic. Holy shit.
That yeah yeah that is so good.
Wow.
I'm so happy for you, Dave, and thank you guys. Thank you guys in the chat. Thank you.
Holy wow.
You know, thank you. You know, it was Michael Bancroft was nice enough to launch my comic on his channel, and we hit the funding goal in like a half an hour. And you know, afterwards,
Mike Barron. Yeah, of course.
Mike goes to me. He goes, "It's so much fun." He goes, I really feel bad when people don't hit the goal." So you know,
Yeah.
good.
Wow.
My stress
Oh,
level just deflated, guys. You just saved me from a heart attack.
it's crazy. Thank you all so much.
Uh,
Holy shit.
is there original art on this? Yes, we were talking about the other tiers when Dave noticed that. So uh, you could get original art, right?
Yes, you can commission POW for any character you want. It can be Jamieverse, can be your own, can be mainstream, whatever. And you can use it for whatever. You get a high-res scan, and you get the original sent to your house alongside all the books signed uh, by me.
And there's only 10 of these.
Yeah, 10 of
And
those. Yeah.
stretch goal cards, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
great.
these cards are done, so everyone gets those. This is unlocked.
Someone bought Pow's cover. the triple print collection. Yeah.
Mm.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. And then legalese down here. But I'm going to scroll back up to the top just because oh wow, I'm so excited for you. And
Wow.
I want to check this out. These are all the actual tiers that you could get. So
Yes.
you know, make a ward without a pledge just because you like Dave's face. A digital tier.
Yeah, digital.
It just you have to. I was dragged kicking and screaming into making a digital tier because Ashley from Ashley's Argonaut said, John, I live in Ireland. I got to pay $30 to ship a comp. He's absolutely right. You got to give the customers what they want.
Yeah. So if you just want to support me or check out this comic, just see if it's something you like. Just grab the digital book, right? And it's done. So when the campaign is over, I will mail it to you immediately.
Right. I scrolled too fast. So this is cover A.
Yes.
It's about $15 American. I assume that most of the people watching this are American, but maybe not.
Yeah. Like 95% of my audience is from the United States.
Power Trip. I backed, issue 5 of Perfect 10 and Power Trip. I really enjoyed issue 1 of Power Trip. I enjoy all of your comics. You can get cover A and cover B.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A catch-up tier or a digital catch-up tier.
Digital, yes.
So that's a perfect power package.
Yeah, that's both new covers of issue 5 plus Power Trip. So 3 books you get with this.
Okay. And Perfect 10 catch-up tier. What is in this? This, okay.
Yeah, that's the entire series, so 5 issues. But this is with if you want to cover 5A, then you pick this one. So that's the cover with the Calamity on it.
Yeah.
And then with so for issue 3 and 4, you get a random cover. It kind of depends on what we still have, right?
Okay. And these are already printed, guys, so you're not going to be waiting long. Perfect catch-up.
It's the same catch-up tier, but with 5B.
There you go. Perfect 10 catch-up A and B. So this is all your stuff. This is great.
Yeah, you get both new versions, both new variants.
Nice. And personal commission. $200 for POW. There you go.
Original art from POW of any character you want. Plus you get some books with it.
Nice. This is good. Anywhere in the world too. So there you go, guys. Don't be.
Yes.
Original cover art. Wow.
Yeah, the original cover arts. So cover B has been sold, so that's no longer available. But this cover you can still get the original art.
Wow. So he still does traditional on pencils.
Yeah. Everything you see is traditional.
Oh, cool. Renzo just sent me. My artist just sent me I got to open it up. I bought it. I bought one of the pages from him, and then he sent me a whole bunch of art, and I'm gonna try to auction that off because to ship from Mexico is super expensive. So it'll be more cost effective if I sell it for him. And I don't want any of it. That's Renzo's money. I'm just doing it to help my buddy. I can't believe this. We got 7 backers. We passed your goal.
Yeah, crazy.
You guys are the best.
Wow.
We got a couple of whenever I scroll, I can't see the chat. So I just came back here. We got TG Inks. Hello, guys. How are you?
This is the inker of the book, guys. Thiago.
You do good work, buddy. I really like your inks. Really good.
Welcome, Thiago.
We are doing really good. I am in such a good mood.
Thiago, look. We got funded.
I felt like I lost 20 pounds, because as the host, I feel like I have responsibilities. So thank you, everybody, for not giving me a stroke tonight. Hail to the chat. Hail, Dave. Good luck with the launch. Mo. Yep.
Thank you, Mo.
The original art's so nice, so clean, and so fine lines. Yes, I really enjoyed looking at the pencil lines. This is, I don't mean this to sound, but sometimes it's a shame to see the art in color. Like Renzo sends me penciled sketches of characters,
Sure.
and then when he inks it and it gets colored, sometimes like sometimes it just seems like it's different. It's wonderful as a comic book, but it's so nice to see original pencil. Have you ever seen Jack Kirby's original pencils on some of his Fantastic Fours? Before they're called, he puts so much detail that is lost. In the I'm babbling because I'm excited. Thank you guys. No refresh. Cover A seems to be the sold one.
All right, cover A is sold. So no more cover, no more.
Both covers are sold. Okay, only the pin up in the spread remain. There you go.
Excellent.
Yeah, great work, Thiago.
Wow.
I love that name too, Thiago. It's a cool name to say, Thiago. So I guess we'll go. We're almost at 2 hours. We were planning on going 1 hour, but I could talk to Dave all night long. And I know Dave got up. I hope you don't have to go to work tomorrow. I hope.
No, it's Sunday tomorrow, so that's perfect.
Yeah, I just got a message. I got friends coming over for. I always say Dungeons and Dragons because everybody knows it, but we're playing Villains and Vigilantes tomorrow, a superhero game. I completely forgot, so I gotta clean off the table and prep up tonight for
excellent.
For
you have a lot of cool games, man.
Yeah, and I just bought a new cam so I could do board games, but that has nothing to do with Perfect 10. I'm just excited for you, and I'm babbling. Dave must sleep before his drink.
Yeah, I have a drink tomorrow, so my own show.
What time is it there?
Right now, it's almost 5 in the morning.
Because originally Dave asked to do this at 2 in the afternoon because of the time difference. On this round globe, it's not a flat Earth, everybody. Otherwise, we'd have the same time zone. But I was like, Dave, I think we would get more traction if we went late at night. And now, now I'm glad. Now that I'm glad I dragged you out of bed. Okay.
Good call. Yeah, that was a good call, man. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks so much, John, for doing this for me.
Yeah, we're gonna go 10 more minutes, guys. So let's see.
Okay. All right.
Can we get to 900 before we sign off in 10 minutes? But I'm so excited for you, Dave. You're one of the guys I consider a friend in this comic book zone. Like you, Brian, you've been very helpful to me. I asked you for advice. You've helped me. So, I just think there's too much negativity in everything. It's funny because I was reading an article about just every hobby has a Twitter and whatever, but in knitting, old ladies knitting, it's become all political and people fighting and stuff like that. And you're like, old ladies knitting is toxic. So,
oh yeah, I read something
going on. So I'm trying my best to focus on the positive, help my buddies out, and talk about. We're here because we like superheroes. And Dave, are you a weirdo like me, where superheroes kind of helped shape your moral compass? Like I literally think like, okay, I got to do this, even though it's the hard thing to do. Because like that's what reading Jack Kirby and Len Wein and Chris Claremont, reading all of these superhero stories really drilled it into my head. Like I know you guys are gonna laugh at me, but like I always put the shopping cart away when I go food shopping. You know what I mean?
Because, right. Yeah.
Because Superman is out there. Setting an example. I can't go out and save people from burning airplanes, but I can put the supermarket shopping cart away. Like I don't litter. You know what I mean? Like when I'm in public, I don't curse. Like when I'm with my buddies, I curse like you wouldn't believe. But things like that, like I make sure that if I'm talking on the phone, I whisper. Just because that's what Superman would want me to do.
Right? Yeah. Well, I have noticed that I don't really enjoy writing characters that I don't find sympathetic or don't really like, except when they're villains, right? When the villains you want to love to hate them, right? But for heroes, I have to actually like them, like these are good people, Otherwise, it's very hard for me to care about the character, and when I, as the writer, do not care, I can't expect readers to care about it,
So now that you brought that up, do you like right now there seems to be a trend to make all the supervillains sympathetic,
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
I not a fan. But I wasn't yet with Image. You had like this tendency for like
Oh,
assholes to become like
we hit that on
superheroes.
you, Dave. Look at your number, Dave.
What? Wow,
I didn't mean to
1K.
interrupt you, but I just got so excited.
Woo! Thank you.
Like, like,
Excellent.
like as far as sympathetic villains, like when you read Fantastic Four #1 and the Mole Man comes out, and this guy was so ugly, people
Uh,
made fun of him that he
yeah,
decided to live under. You feel bad for the Mole Man, but you
right.
don't get to destroy cities.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, but
Like,
yeah, but that's something else when it's part of the story, part of the backstory of the character, right?
right.
But nowadays you also have like established villains, and somehow we have to sympathize with them. Some villains can just be villains, can just be scumbags. That's perfectly fine, you know.
And that's fun too. That's fun too to
Yeah.
make. I if I'm if you read Heroic Tales #1, I try to make it blue sky, and I think maybe I gave a little misdirection to people, but the villain Dr. Robug is not sympathetic at all. But I didn't explicitly tell you what he was doing
Mhm.
because explicitly what he's doing is horrible. But I wanted it to be still a blue sky superhero story. But in between the lines, Dr. Robug is not sympathetic, but like the Mole Man, he was teased and made fun of. He's diminutive stature.
Yes.
His superpower made him a little freaky and weird. But don't be doing what you're doing, Dr. Robug. So yes, you can have sympathy, but you shouldn't be. He's not misunderstood.
No.
He could put his genius for good. And what you're saying about writing characters, that I got this comic, Reed Fleming, World's Toughest Milkman.
What?
It is.
Yeah.
I can't read it. He is such an asshole. I can't stand him. This is my only comic. You know,
Oh,
it's a classic. You know, I was like, I want to start getting like I'm into the old '80s black and white indie
right.
comic, and this is one I've always was interested in. But he's such a jerk. I don't want. Maybe if I got this in the '80s, I would
Yeah.
love it. But I don't want to read about a jerk. You know?
No. No, I had that with I was saying like I had that for instance with the Darkness. He was a very popular character, the Darkness, but I couldn't get into it, man. I loved the artwork and the design and everything about that, but Jackie Estacado, so the main character, he's such an asshole. He's a murderer. He's he's a villain, and
Right.
that was the reason why he even got these powers, right? And I just couldn't get into the Darkness. I I I didn't really get why he was so popular.
Well, that was edgy. You know, I could like again in the '80s. You and I know I'm older than you, but like all the comic book superheroes were goody goodies, you know.
Yeah,
So it was kind of refreshing. Like when the Punisher exploded onto the scene, you know, granted he was around since the mid '70s, but he really didn't get popular until the middle '80s. It was a shock to the system. This is a guy who goes out killing people, and oh
mhm,
man, did we eat that up like candy? And then and then Wolverine was the bad boy that everybody liked, and then you had like other comics that came out later, like Faust. I don't know if you remember that, where it was Joe Vigil just
Faust. Yeah.
it's like murder porn, and I loved it at the time. But now I've been going back and I've been getting holes in my collection. I can't read Faust anymore. Like
No.
I bought 2 issues to finish up the collection, and I can't read them. You know, it's not what I want anymore. You know, I kind of want like guys that I could like. I don't want to watch the TV show The Boys. You know,
Yeah. No, the boys. I can't look at that either. I can't stand it. It's all these nasty, despicable people, and we're supposed to follow them and care about things that happen. And I'm like, just to throw a bomb on
yeah,
it
yeah.
and get it over with, you know?
Yeah, so the art was beautiful. I can't argue with that,
Oh
Mike.
yeah, the art is fantastic.
And I think that's why everybody got it, really, because
Yeah.
the early Image comics. I will say this: like Dave's comics, to me, kind of have an Image aesthetic to it, but he's got good writing, good characters, good storytelling. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to talk about, Dave. You get storytelling, and when I talk about storytelling, I mean you could erase all the words in your book, and I could follow the panels, and I could get the gist of what's going on. Yes, of course, the need words.
Well, thanks to Pau also. Pau is fantastic,
Right,
like
right.
visual
But ultimately, you
storyteller.
get our script. You know what I mean? And then you look at the art. So, um, it's something that, because I've seen phenomenal artists who can't do good storytelling.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Each, and yeah, again, I don't want to take anything away from Pau because I love Pau's artwork. So Pau, if you're listening, I'm not in. But what I'm saying is, you write a script and then you oversee this art, and you understand that it's sequential art. This panel relates to this panel that relates to this panel. It's moments of time, like frames in a film, that have to lead and progress. Like
Yeah.
if a character's walking in this direction, the next panel he's not walking. You know what I mean? Like I don't. And you get that, and that's something I'm trying to emulate. You know, I'd like to think I was successful, but you shouldn't be congratulating yourself. But you know what I mean? It's you get it. So again, Image Comics, it was just stagnant panel, dialogue that sometimes didn't even really, and it was really disjointing. Yours flows. So when I say your comic has like an Image aesthetic as far as this bombastic, over the top art that is beautiful, but you have the storytelling down pat, you have the characterization down pat. You know, you're doing it all. A comic that Paul Thayer does, a comic called Project Noosis. To me, you two guys are like I joked before that we were brothers of another. You and Paul, I think, I don't know if you know his comics, but
Yeah.
he even more is Image aesthetic because he's younger than us, but he could write, and all of his comics flow. Like if Image was like you two guys, man, you know, there would still be Young Blood comics. Well, those guys also didn't have a work ethic. So Paul, you and Paul are producing. Oh my God, are you guys producing?
Yeah, Paul is great.
Be as good as you someday.
Paul is great at marketing also, man.
Another backer.
Yes. 9 backers. Wow.
Nice. Yeah. Just
Holy
back.
shit.
Oh, Ernest, you're back. Cool.
Thank you, Ernest.
Ernest,
thank you so much.
Is this the first time you're hearing about Dave? Are you a new backer to Dave? And if so, let me know what you think of the comics when you get them. I already know you're gonna like them.
Oh, thank you so much, John. Thank you for doing this for me, man.
Oh yeah, anytime. I love to help. You know, I'm a fan of your comics. I enjoy talking to you. I'm so glad that we hit your goal and surpassed your goal. Oh man, I'll be able to sleep tonight.
It's also difficult sometimes to break out of the like you have your audience, your network, you know, but to go beyond that, that's difficult sometimes. So
I don't believe that because you're successful that I'm not successful. You know what I mean? Like all rising tide floats all boats. So if we get more and more people interested in superhero comics, that helps me because I'm making superhero comics. And it helps Brian Bow, even though he's doing horror comics, because it's comics. And now we're getting more people focused, you know. So I don't understand why people are fighting with each other. Yeah, everybody help each other out. Is number 5 the last? It's the latest issue. It's not the last issue.
No, it's not the last issue. No,
no,
Gordon. There will be one more issue after this one.
Oh, there's only 6 issues?
Well, for the first arc, yes.
Okay. I just got scared. I'm like, you done? I like this comic.
No, for the first arc.
Oh, good. Yeah, so it is one story. So if you do back the last issue, you know, you're gonna have to figure out what's going on. But it's a continuous story that makes sense. It's well written, a lot of fun. And again, I'm a nut job that loves superheroes and their names, and you're doing it good. Whew. Gordon is happy to know that it's going to continue. There's got to be at least 10 issues for a comic called Perfect 10.
Yeah. You think, but I can't do this without you guys, without all the backers. You guys make this happen. You're basically the producers, right? I just make it because you make it possible for me to make it. So thank you so much, guys.
Okay, cool. It's been 2 hours, and I can't really talk too much longer now. And I got to go to bed and set up for our role playing games tomorrow. So, Dave, anything you want to say before we close up?
Sure. The books are done, guys. So if you back fulfillment will start as soon as the campaign is done. So because Perfect 10 Book 5 is at the printer right now, I will get that probably next week, and then I will send it over to RJ, to Critical Blast, and he can start shipping things out as soon as this is finished.
Yeah.
So
and if you're new to Kickstarter, when the campaign closes, you're going to get an email for a survey. If you don't fill out that survey, Dave doesn't get your information.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you
This is
fill out
true.
the survey. Because
Yeah.
I still have like 3 people for my Kickstarter campaign that ended in August.
Sometimes I get like 1 year later, someone contacts me when they finally fill in the survey, you know. But we keep the books aside. When you forget the survey, we just keep the books for you.
I got mine right here, ready to go when this guy's ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because he paid for it, and I don't want to send it to somebody else and then be like,
Exactly.
"Whoa," you know. So there we go. Exactly. So, oh wow. So maybe someday we'll have a Patriarch top 10 team up.
Or Perfect 10, yeah.
Oh, I keep saying top 10. I'm so mad because that's those of you who don't know who are new. I'm working on. There's a top 10 in my universe, and I keep saying the wrong thing, much to Dave's chagrin, and I'm so sorry. I get embarrassed.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You backed the Indiegogo campaign a while back, so rooting for the project to succeed. Yeah, I backed on Fund My Comic right away. You know, like as soon as Dave announced it, I was there. I was there because that's how much I love this series. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot. Dave, always glad to help you out. Always glad to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Fantastic launch. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you want to come back, you know, for a closeout or something like that, please do.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And thanks for everybody in the chat. And we're gonna close down now.
Bye, guys.
Bye. And I'm gonna hit the end trailer, so you don't have to hang out. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. All right. Bye.
Bye.
And the button doesn't work.